Hi guys, I'm here today to talk about doing your inner work for Ascension, and this little girl came over to say hi right as I was starting to make the video, so I just want to introduce her. I think I have before on my channel, but this is Stella, and she's a sweet little angel. Her name means from the stars, and she definitely is. So I think it's, I really think it's special that she actually came over right when I was setting up the camera and wanted to be on my lap. So maybe she's sending you guys some loving energy. I know she sends it to me. She's a little wise soul for sure. So thank you, Stella. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so today I want to talk about doing your inner work for Ascension, for ascending to the 5th dimension. This is something I don't believe is talked about enough or with enough depth or honesty. So first of all, I want to talk about what the inner work is not, just so we can get that completely cleared. So the inner work is not ritual, okay? Ritual can take a part in doing your inner work, but ritual itself is not the inner work. So we have, for instance, a lot of people nowadays that are kind of interested in yoga and meditation, and I know some places, actually I personally also use sound bowls, but when I lead a guided meditation 2 times a month, and I also do use sound bowls at times. So, but all of that I consider ritual, okay? All of that is part of ritual. They're tools. They're tools to help you go within and to attune your energy to a higher frequency, okay? So we have a culture that I would say is really focused on ritual at this moment in time, okay? Again, I go back to the yoga community because it's such a large part of our modern day society. And I mean, look at yoga pants. They've pretty much changed the wardrobe of women across the world. And those things are great, but they're not the inner work, okay? So what I want to say is, if facing your internal issues is extremely scary for you, then you're not ready to do the inner work, okay? It's okay for it to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. That's what inner work is. It's uncomfortable. It's work. It is actual work. It's the work that you don't get any accolades for, right? It's the work that you don't get the attention for outwardly, because nobody knows what you're really doing, because it's the inner work. However, that is exactly what is needed and what is required at this time on this planet if you want to ascend to higher dimensions. So this is the quiet, very personal inner work that you're doing here. And what does that look like? Okay, inner work is first an emotional thing. Okay, it's an emotional thing. Your emotions are like signposts that are going to guide you to exactly what you need to work on next, to what is coming up for you. Also, you're using thought processes, right? You're connecting the dots. You're seeing that your emotions are leading you to a thought. A thought has come up for you, or an emotion has come up for you. Now we begin the process of being our own examiners, thinking, why is that coming up for me? What is that connected to? When I'm around this person, I feel this way. When anyone says something like this to me, I start to get really defensive and I just shut down. Those are all clues. They're triggers to what your inner work is. And it's different for everyone because it's a conglomeration of everything that you've been through in this life, so that includes your childhood, of course, and past lives also. So what we're doing right now is all of this is coming up to the fore, to the surface, and asking for acknowledgement and healing so it can be released. And it gets released back into what? Into source, into God, into light, okay? So it can be, because energy is never destroyed or created, it simply changes forms, right? So it's going to be recycled when you release it. It's going to be recycled into light, into love, and then it will be able to be used for a new creation, okay? Hopefully something better. So there's a lot of people at this time, I feel, that are really afraid of the inner work. They have no problem with, going and taking a yoga class. They're open to even taking, well, not as many people are open to doing a meditation class, but they're open to a massage, okay? They're open to a salt room. They're open to Reiki. They're open to a tarot reading. They're open to a psychic reading. It's not hard right now to get people to do all of these things because they're seeking, right? So they'll spend a lot of money going out and seeking for this person to help them and this person to do this, right? Because they've been taught that by the pharmaceutical and medical industry. This is something that has been programmed into the subconscious of humans right now, is that here, take this pill, take this external thing, and it's going to cure you, okay? All you have to do is the quick fix, right? The inner work is the opposite of the quick fix, and a lot of people don't want to hear this. Some people might even shut the video off at this point because they're thinking, what can she offer me at this point? This is not the quick takeaway pill panacea thing that I was looking for, right? And it's not going to be, because this is real. This is real. This is actually what it takes if you want to ascend to if you want to higher your consciousness and ascend to a higher dimension. Okay, if you want to get off of the cycle of reincarnation, if you want to leave behind the lower realms of suffering and control and basically suffering is what it really comes down to, because there is no aspect of life in the lower dimensions that doesn't cause suffering, okay? Everything from disease, relationship problems, poverty, poison in the food, the medical industry killing people, okay? All of it comes down to, at the end of the day, it comes down to suffering, because it's not the divine design. And the divine design, some people are ready to return to. And in order to return to that, you have to do your inner work. So you need messengers that are going to tell you the truth and not sugarcoat things, and not just say, oh yeah, here's, my latest ebook, here's this is just one more step to keep you just, going for something else and something else and something else. Okay? No. If you really want to know the truth, then take a moment and realize the truth is inside of you. You don't need all this shit, okay? You don't need to buy another product or go and have another service or go and have someone lay crystals on you or even go buy some more crystals. You don't need to do those things. If they help you, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. I have some crystals. I have some things like this. I go and I've had, certain healing sessions and things like that. I'm not saying don't do those things if you feel guided. What I'm saying is those things alone are not going to help you ascend, okay, to get to your goal. They're just not. If anything, those things should lead you deeper into the inner work. And so at a certain point, you realize there is no other place to run. There is no other place to hide. Now it comes down to you facing yourself, you facing those deep down wounds inside of you once and for all as they come up, not distracting yourself, okay? Not distracting yourself. you know, there's nothing wrong with, I don't believe there's anything wrong with certain substances once in a while, okay? Like some THC or some alcohol or whatever it is, if it's an anxiety pill, okay? I'm not here to tell you that you should never ever take those things. I'm just saying, don't rely on them. Don't rely on them, okay? Don't let them be the thing that keeps you from going to the deepest levels and layers of your soul, okay? Because that would be a travesty. Those things are good sometimes, once in a while, when you're overwhelmed, okay? And you have to function in the physical world, and you need something to help you relax, or you just don't want to think about certain things right now, okay? Once in a while, that's fine, but don't allow it to keep you from doing the inner work, okay? The inner work is done completely alone. It's done in silent reflection. It's not this sexy, thing. I mean, most of my inner work has been done in a bathtub alone, with my journal, just crying or releasing. And that is what is needed. That is what is needed more from people these days, is that inner reflection that so many people are running from. And they don't realize that they're never ever going to feel fulfilled unless they do the deep inner work. Okay, so when those things come up for you, like one is coming up and you're starting to feel overwhelmed, my suggestion would be to not run. Don't run. Stop what you're doing. If you're with people, try to get by yourself, because this is a moment for you, and don't let anyone else take it away from you. Okay, this is a clue into what is really happening in your internal landscape. So try to go home, try to at least be in nature or somewhere by yourself, and let it come. Let it come to you. Okay, let the pain come to you. I know sometimes it really fucking hurts, and that's why people hide from it and run from it. But you have to be strong. You have to be a warrior. Okay, the evolution of your soul is not an easy thing, and only pain and suffering motivate you to get through it and to stop running from it, but rather charge through it. Okay, so you can get to the other side, which is peace and bliss and harmony. Okay, so when it comes up, don't run from it. Try to get somewhere by yourself and feel it. Allow it to really be felt in your heart chakra, okay? It might hurt. It might feel like you're dying. It might feel like you're being stabbed. These things are very painful, these energy forms. But you can do it. I promise you that if you just allow it to be felt and acknowledged, it will let up. You will get relief. The only way out is through, okay? The only way out is through. I like to do a visualization. I'll just tell you real quick, and then I'll end this for now. I like to do a visualization where I picture a wave, okay? A wave from the ocean. And that is the emotion that's coming up in me, okay? I'm being triggered. It's coming up. It's so strong, and I'm just like wanting to run. It feels so shitty, in that moment. It almost feels like you're literally dying. And that's the wave. That's the wave coming up so high that you can't even see through it, okay? Excuse me. But if you know and you trust that wave is not going to kill you, okay? I don't know if every one of you are watching this have ever been in the ocean, but I've been in the ocean a few times in some kind of scary situations, and I survived because I chose to just let go and kind of go with the water. So that's what I'm saying with your emotions. Go with the emotion. Let the emotion wash over you, okay? Knowing that it's not going to kill you. In fact, it's just the opposite. As it comes over you, it's washing you clean and it's creating a new version of yourself, okay? Pieces of you might die with it, and that's okay, because they were pieces that you don't need anymore. They were worn out. They were no longer serving you. And you're going to reach the other side of that wave, of that emotion, of that pain. And on the other side, what you're going to find is the dawning of a new day. And you're going to find a new feeling of peace and a new feeling of strength. And that will be something that no one can take away from you, ever. And that is something that is not dependent upon your finances or your job or your relationship or your family or any external circumstance. That is something that will abide in you for eternity. These are eternal shifts that you can make now. You can allow these energies that are coming in to completely assist you in letting go of things that you've been carrying around for lifetimes, or even just this lifetime, okay? This is the gift that is being offered now from the universe. This is the gift of healing. So don't shut down, don't run from it, don't think, oh my God, this world is going crazy and I have no choice but to just, go off and take drugs and go out and party and just distract myself with thing after thing. No. That's not what's going on, actually. That's what it looks like on the surface. You're being called to see beyond the external circumstances right now. You're being called to see the truth of what's really going on, which is that these energies are bringing things to the surface in every aspect of human life on this planet. So that means political, that means financial, that means relationships, that means the medical industry. Every single industry is now basically being held accountable by these energies. And so everything that was corrupt, everything that was not of the light has to be exposed, has to come up to the surface. And as a result, you're gonna see some things that look really scary or look really shitty on the surface. Okay, but if you look beyond it, you realize they're just coming up for release. And this is exactly what's happening to you on an internal level. So if you feel out of control and like suddenly you're just overwhelmed by all these feelings and all these things are suddenly coming up and you're questioning your life, you're questioning the people in your life, you're questioning this, you're questioning that, that's perfect. That's exactly where you should be, because you need to examine these things. Because these things it's all about love. Everything, no matter what form it takes, is only a call for you to go deeper within yourself and release more of the old so that you can allow the new being that you are, the true light being, the true being of purity that you are, to emerge like the phoenix from the ashes, right? That rises up out of the ashes. There's a phoenix inside you that is going to rise up out of these ashes. I promise you. There's nothing you've been through that is not fixable. There is nothing you've been through that cannot be returned to love and recycled into something more beautiful. Because who you truly are is a pure being of light. And honestly, you really have no choice but to always be that at your core. So all the wounds and all the things that you feel like have happened to you that have maybe like scarred you for life or that they'll just never leave, they can leave. They can be transformed. I promise you. I promise you. Everything is fixable. Your heart is fixable. Your life is fixable. Everything is fixable. So don't ever think that. Don't ever think that you're so damaged that you're just never gonna be right again. Okay? All you need is the desire to heal first. And if that is all you can do at this time, is just let that be your word, let that be your prayer, is show me how to heal. Show me how to release this. I promise you can, because this is the exact process I've gone through consciously for the last 12 years. And you know, I still have little pieces of things coming up, and although they may seem very, you know, like I'm stuck with them or dysfunctional, or I think, am I really never going to get over this? I know that I am. I know that I am, because my prayer will always be, show me the path to heal this. I'm willing. Show me the path. And I will listen, and I will pay attention to the signs, and I will do whatever I can, because my greatest desire is to heal and to help others heal and to return to my purest form of myself. And that's why I'm on this planet right now. So hopefully some of this helped you guys. So just think about the wave. Don't run from it. Know that you will survive it. Let it wash over you. Just sit with the pain. Don't be afraid of the pain, because the pain is a part of you too. It's not some foreign thing to be scared of, okay? Just welcome it. All it wants to do is be felt and acknowledged so that it can leave and return to the light. So just allow it to happen. Just say, it's okay, come, I'll feel you, I'll acknowledge you. Let it wash over you. And then on the other side of that pain that you feel, when you get to the very bottom of it, a feeling of relief and lightness will come to you, I promise you. This is how we do this. It's just that some people never allow themselves to get to that point because they're scared. They don't want to feel the pain, so they numb the pain, they distract themselves. But unfortunately, that's just not going to work at this time in history, because if people aren't willing to evolve and to heal now, then they're going to have to probably leave through a death experience in order to incarnate elsewhere, because Gaia, or Mother Earth, she's headed to the 5th dimension, and she's taking everyone with her whose frequency is high enough to match. She's gone through her own healing process. And that's why we see all the natural disasters and everything. So there are natural disasters going on inside of you as well, because we're all one. But there is a new day coming. Just know that. And you will get through it, I promise you. And if you need any personal assistance with these things, I do this part-time for a living. I do a process. I use quantum energy to help you release these things. Okay, but if you can do it on your own, I encourage you to do it on your own. But if you really feel like you do need a session with me, then I will put a link where you can email me in the description so that you could reach out and we could do one over the phone. Okay? All right, guys, until my next video,